saying your picture. They said what show?
Hey, cartoon. What were they out of? Hey guys, how's everybody doing? This week's guest and all her brothers. What's up, Steve?
Hey, look, I joined.
Perfect.
There you go.
Alright, so you're just gonna scroll through there. What's up, John? How's it going? From Australia.
Yeah, Donnie.
Howdy from Dallas, Dave.
Okay, we have a question.
No, relax. We'll get to questions in a minute. I know we let people all say hi, and then we
He's the one with the question. Can't you just
Dave,
answer?
Danny, who?
Danny.
All right, go ahead. Read real quick.
Okay, greetings from South Dakota.
Yep.
Question: my buddy has a 2011 four-door Dodge Dakota.
Yeah.
He wants to add bass, but his truck doesn't have any space at all. The rear seats don't come down, we think. Is there a good way to prefab box for this truck?
MTX used to make a Dodge Dakota box for behind the back seat. You have to actually pull the whole back seat out, and there's room on the driver's side area for a thin wedge box. It's a total nightmare and extremely hard to get out, but there is a box for the truck. Okay. Hey, real quick before we get going on the show, please keep telling us where you're from and saying hi. We like to know. Enhanced Install Steves, what's up?
This is me.
What?
With Jack.
Ferals.
I
Playing with my
know.
new Ferals. That's Christian from
Butch.
Orlando. Anyways, what's up, Christian? Hey, Butch is on. Say hi, Tula. Anyway, so this morning we put up the ILX 207 video, and unbeknownst to me, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Christian from Orlando. See, he just bought a bunch of Ferals from the Dean Fernando's tool drawer. That's right.
That's a tool?
Tool. What?
That's a tool?
A ferrule?
Yeah.
A ferrule is an accessory for a tool. It's so when you're putting the wire into the amplifier, it's a sleeve that goes. This is really bad. It's a sleeve that goes. It's a sleeve that wraps around the wire, so when you compress it, it keeps all the wire in nice and tight. Anyways, so the ILX 207 video went up this morning, and apparently my computer has 2 hard drives. The one that it exports to was apparently almost full, so only exported out the first 8 minutes. When I got up at 5 this morning to upload it, I didn't realize there was only 8 minutes up, so thankfully most of you guys let me know that there was a problem, so then I re-uploaded the full 40-minute show. Yay! So if you want to know about the ILX 207, yay! 10 something is the full show. So if you want to know more about that radio, go ahead and check it out.
D. William from DC.
Are you ready for questions?
Let's just get into questions, Haley.
Okay. Which would you prefer, 6.5 in the rear door or 6x9 in the rear deck?
6.5 in the rear door, nothing in the rear deck. If you put speakers in the rear deck, it's fine, it's okay, but like
6x9s.
You want 6x9s in the rear deck?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's well, if you put amplifiers.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing time correction,
yeah.
Are we putting the speakers in the rear deck or the rear doors?
No, in the rear doors.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You sure?
Definitely. Yes.
The reason why we're having that debate, if you just go for an overall loud system, the rear deck is a great place to put them. Put them in all 6 locations. If you're trying to build something that's going to have some staging to it, like front stage, then you definitely don't want to go in the rear deck because that's going to draw your head away because it's going to be so loud. You're going to end up turning them down a lot or run no tweeter. That's also an option. If you just want to add more mid-bass to the car, run it with no tweeter also works as well. That's just, most people aren't going to do that. Okay, so go ahead.
Wondering if my 2011 VW Jetta SE has a factory amplifier, and if so, where do I find it? I want to install a 4-channel amp, but when I did, I got no sound out of it. Okay,
a Jetta will have an amplifier located in the passenger rear deck.
Used a Singer 9-wire.
Yeah, it's speedwire. Okay. Yeah, the Jettas have the monsoon system. If they have an amp, it's going to be passenger rear deck mounted upside down. It'll have a big black like roll cage over it almost, and that would be where the amplifier is. and you'd know because you'd see it. It's huge.
Yes,
What else?
That's the next question.
Hmm?
Falls Gate, what do you think about the new subs?
Which new subs? They have new subs?
Probably the T1s.
Oh, the big suckers? I haven't seen them yet. I mean, they look impressive as hell.
We haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen them yet. The T3s aren't anything we're going to probably bring in. Paul's just kind of doesn't want to deal with those. So hopefully Bill has them, and he was supposed to bring us one, but we haven't seen it. Yeah, he's told me to bring us one so we can take a look at it. So when we see it, we'll talk about it. We'll definitely shoot a video on it when we get it. So, yeah, what else you got?
Chad said he's been reading up on the PG DSP, but doesn't like that price tag.
It is a bit pricey. If you're looking for something that's a little less pricey, if you don't need all the channels, check out the DM608 from Audio Control. It doesn't have all the features, but it's really close, and the RTA built into it, both input, output, and the auto EQ feature, I feel are a really good selling point with it. We've been doing quite a few of those lately, and really pleased with the results we can get out of it. The one thing about it that just kind of is that it doesn't have independent level control for each channel yet. That was the only thing I didn't really like. But other than that, EQ-wise, it does really well.
Hey, Jason. Recommend anything?
What?
He asked if you could recommend something.
For what?
Yeah, the audio control.
I did. Yeah, I did. Howdy, Three Amigos. Well, if I'm the Three Amigos, I want to be...
Donald Duck.
Those are the Three Caballeros.
I like them better.
Three Caballeros, the Three Caballeros.
Okay.
They say we are birds of a feather. Oh,
okay.
Or something like that.
Save it.
Ryan.
Okay.
What's up, Ryan?
David.
Hey, Ryan, you never told me. Do you work for a shop, or are you just building your own shop? Just curious about that. Okay, what do you got?
Okay, Dante says, hey guys, I need the part number for the ferrules he used. I bought too small. I need help.
Yeah, we're still working on the ferrules for the zero gauge. The ones we got, there again, they were too small, so I'm trying to find the right size one. No, just build them out. Okay, thanks, Ryan. So right now I don't have any recommendations for the zero gauge. I'm sorry.
Right.
The ones we got were actually too small too. Kind of sucks. So I'm
working on it.
What we're trying to do is we have a whole new ferrule video we're going to shoot. But right now we're trying to get all the pieces in place. Unlike the last one we shot, the company we recommended were kind of dicks, is the easiest way to say it. Ears. To us about it because they didn't like the fact that we were recommending people to buy stuff from them unless they planned on buying a whole bunch of it. So they sent me a nasty email. So this time we're going to reshoot the video. We have more products, and we're trying to find like links to actually buy them on just Amazon so that you guys can just order the stuff and not have any problems. From Dean and Fernando's Tool Drawer at dnftooldrawer.com. That's 2 shameless plugs. I feel good about that. And if you really want to support the show, we do have a Patreon account at 5 Star Car Stereo. Patreon. Whatever. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Danny said just ripped apart the 94 Corolla front doors, and there are a 4-inch speaker.
Yes.
Once the window is rolled down, the depth is 1 inch almost. Any slim speakers you may suggest? It's not for work, so not too pricey. Thanks.
Honestly, any one of the Pioneer TSA 5 1/4s should do the trick. They're real reasonably priced. They're real shallow.
They're not that yet.
Yeah, they're real shallow. So I would check out a TSA Pioneer for something like that, for sure. Is it a manual crank or is it a power window? That'd be my next question.
I'm sure it's
okay. You sure it's 94 probably. Yeah. Hey, it's Drew. Say hi, Drew.
No.
Drew's her soccer coach, and she had a very eventful weekend. We had 2 soccer games this weekend. She plays defense, and I think she was what everyone was hitting. If you notice that one right here, that is a big bruise.
In this.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's
okay.
You made me drop my phone.
That's all right. Show the bruise.
Yeah.
So we have this whole area right here.
Oh my god.
I'm not moving.
And then there's another one right here. So this involved her coming off at halftime in tears over to me, going, "Dad, this hurts so bad. What do I do?"
That was soccer or that was football?
Yeah. Well, I think they were using her legs as the ball with their foot, but I didn't tell you. So my dad went and got her an ice pack, and of course we were all the way at the top fields, and so he doesn't walk real fast.
Slowest person ever.
So she's like, "Where's the ice pack?" I'm like, "He's coming." I can't see it. I will say this: they had it was right at halftime. Halftime came back in, or she didn't come back in. Halftime started 3 minutes and a half after halftime. The second half, lightning detectors went off, so the game was postponed for 15 minutes? 30 minutes. She came back and played the whole rest of the game, and the whole team after that played a really stellar game. I think she used her body as most of the kicking post for everyone. It was a rough second half. The girl got up and started Jesus, I can't talk.
Throwing fists.
Yeah, the girl got up, started throwing fists. Another girl took a direct hit in the back of the head from like 5 feet out.
And then she comes to tryouts doing headers.
Totally rocked her.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a rough, and it rained. Stood there in the rain.
What's up, Alexander?
Okay, sorry about that was 5-star soccer talk with guest Haley. Let's get back to the question. Hello from Sweden.
Yep.
Okay. Question last week got lost in the video stalling, but hoping at some point you could rate.
What's that?
I don't know, but hoping.
Question last week got lost in the video stalling, but hoping at some point you could do radio dyno. Yes. Okay. So the 9904s and the 6904, all the new 4 series Kenwood Exelon radios are going to get radio dynoed.
Take a drink.
The whole idea was to get all the Pioneer stuff done, get all the Alpine stuff done, and now we're moving on to the Kenwood.
Yeah.
We ran into a hiccup in that we have to go back this week and shoot some special features on some Pioneer stuff that we just found out about. So if you have a new NEX Pioneer radio, one of the 13 or 23 or 33 series
happy.
Radios, you're going to be like, "Oh, really? It does that? What?" So, hidden feature, way hidden feature. So we have to go back and we have to shoot those videos this week, and we also have some Scar Audio Marine stuff that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Even though Marine season is almost over, we're going to shoot. They just came out with the whole Marine line. They know it was bad timing. They expected it to ship in May, and it didn't. So, but they have the product. They'd like everyone to know about it. It's really nice stuff. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow on our Tuesday filming, and then that'll slowly but surely make it out over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the Pioneer thing. So Kenwood is getting moved back yet another week. But if we have the amp, yeah. So it's coming though. It's coming. It's coming.
Just be patient.
Please. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Haley.
Okay, what's the speaker for a 2002 Ford Explorer XLT with a Pioneer AVH-X 4800 BS?
What year did they say?
2002.
2002. Did they say Pioneer radio?
Yes.
I should listen more. The punch is nice. Actually, the Kenwood Exelons would probably be your best bet for a 5x7. They're reasonably priced, and they sound really, really good on deck power. So I would check out the Kenwood Exelons. If you need something other than that, then check out the Punch 5x7s. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those would be nice.
Yeah.
This is where I went for my son's system. Well, thank you, Daniel. Okay, what do you got?
Okay, Billy says, will the new Kenwoods play video from USB like most of the older models?
Yes, the Kenwoods will play videos from USB like the older models. Only on the as far as what format, that's not really one of the strong suits on Kenwood, but yeah. If you really want to do USB video, the radio you want is the Pioneer, the ones we just talked about, the new NEX, because hands down, USB video has never looked better. They have the new buffer built into it, or down sampler, that'll take 1080 video and down res it to the 480, and it does the cleanest job I've ever seen. So if USB video is all that you're worried about, do that. Buy the Pioneer. I know that's like, but hey, that's what it is. Okay.
David said, thanks for the recommendation of Dark Matter. Binge watched this weekend since I finally had a weekend off from soccer.
Yeah, the only bummer about the whole Dark Matter thing is the show, thanks to Fro on here, Jason, told me they discontinued the series. So we got 3 good years and then it's over. So I enjoyed it. Kind of bummed.
So annoying.
I know, I hate that.
Okay, John Slack says, also, have you tried the JLTWK88? Was going to pick that up.
Okay, so we have not, because we're not a jail dealer, but Fro's house, which is Jason, which he has a store out in Oregon.
Yeah.
Down here in the bottom, he says, John, the Tweak 88 is a great piece, and I would agree with him on that. Everything I've heard anyone say about it is a wonderful product. So yeah, I would not kick it out of bed. All right, go ahead.
From Maryland.
Hector says, you guys have any footage of a radio install on a 06 to 10 Ford Explorer? Oh, I miss mine.
Yeah.
Was that today?
Yes.
Was that today?
Yeah.
Was that an 06 though?
No,
that was an
He
older
said
one.
06 to
That was an
010.
older one.
We might, and we've talked about this on the YouTube channel or on the YouTube show Saturday. Part of my homework that I have no time for is to take all the install bay diaries and I'm going to catalog the whole show so that we'll be able to then put them up on Dan Basehead Murphy. What's up, buddy? We'll be able to take them, put them up on the Dean Fernando's tool drawer. Another shameless plug. That way we'll be able to direct people towards episodes where those cars are at so that you can take a look at what we did. So we're gonna. That's my job to do amongst getting the show up and produced and all that fun stuff, is to catalog all that stuff. So stuff like a question like that is going to be easier to answer. Right now we may have the video, I just don't know where it's at.
It's there.
It'd be there. Okay,
Somewhere.
so go ahead.
Brian said, is there any decent replacement sub for the factory RAM system in the Bighorn?
In the big.
The doors or the rear speaker? That would be my next question. You know, for that rear sub, no, I mean, they stink.
Like like an 8?
Yeah, I mean, we would put a regular RAM box underneath the seat in that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a 10, a 12, two 10s, two 12s, just single if you need to. The single RAM 10 or 12 box is really nice. The problem is then you have that power. The power is what... Rear speaker. Yeah, so the sub.
Yeah.
The power is what sucks on that. So I would recommend getting a real sub underneath that seat, take that box out, put a real box there, and add just a 300 watt amplifier, like a Kicker 301 would be great. They're small, they're only about this big, so I mean you can tuck that underneath the back seat right there and be good to go. High level in, right from the speaker wires that are there.
Yeah,
and rock on.
Okay, Steven says, I have a few questions about a bunch of stuff. First question, I have a 42 NAX and I have the auto EQ. I saw your dyno video on the 42 NEX. Should you do one or the other or both for best results?
Well, they're two totally different things. If you're trying to dyno the radio for optimum performance and then do the EQ, you really have to do both. First thing you want to do is make sure everything is set up properly. So you want to set up the radio for clip, you want to set up the amplifier for clip, make sure everything is playing below where it needs to be, because once you auto EQ it, it's going to detect clip and automatically turn all the levels down. So for example, if you have your gains not set properly, like they're too high, when it's auto EQing, it's going to sense when it clips and you're going to get some crazy number that's like way too low. So if you auto EQ and you see like -5, -4, -8, -10, then you know your gains are up way too high. So that's where you have to make sure you set the gains up properly. The radio will take care of everything else.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Mark from Virginia.
Okay, Jason said...
What's up, Mark?
Okay.
Go ahead, sorry. We do that throughout the whole... What's
I
up,
know.
Michael?
Trying to locate a vehicle integration module like iData Link for my 2016 Mazda CX-5, but have no luck. Does it
Yes.
normally take time?
Yes. Typically something like a Mazda, yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Come out with one?
Yeah, because you got to remember, they look at cars that sell fastest. So for like example, like if you just caught the news show,
Yeah.
we were talking about 4 kits for F-150s. 4. There's not one kit for a Mazda.
Bye, Ryan. Thank you for watching, buddy.
So it really just comes down to they look at how many cars are actually sold, and then that's when they actually start building products for them. So sometimes you don't see products for cars 2 years. It totally stinks. Plus, they also have to look at how hard is it to design the product, how many people are going to buy it. So they have a whole formula for that, and it's just weird. So yeah, you're probably going to have to wait. I mean, they still don't have an adapter for a Honda Accord.
No.
I mean, just to give you an idea of the level of where the Mazda would slip
Still
in
waiting.
there.
Still waiting.
So yeah, it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
At this point, you'd probably be better off just to keep the factory in and just do something like an audio control DM608, the Phoenix Gold, the Tweak, some form of a processor just attached high level into the radio, and just go from there. No reason to drive around for years without product.
Okay, so hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Pioneer 6x9 or TSM 800?
Say
Pioneer
what?
6x9.
Pioneer 6x9 or
TSM 800.
TSM. Where are we at? Point to it.
TSM
Huh.
800.
I don't know what a TSM 800 is. I don't know what we're trying to do. Pioneer makes like 4 different 6x9s, so depends.
And the TS is a good one.
So
But
Or is the TSM, is that thing?
no, this is different.
That's not that one, right?
No.
The big one with the tweeter that's sticking out of the top? Okay. Alright, sorry, go ahead.
moving on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Michael says, do you have a Metro kit for a 2017 Mustang?
The 2017 Mustang Metro Kit, I believe, just started shipping. So we don't have that currently in stock, but I believe it just came out. So, yeah. Haven't seen it yet, and I'm sure it's going to be hideous. But it's the only game in town right now, so just like the Camaro kits that everyone had to rock for the first 2 years, before the Pack kit came out, you're kind of stuck with that one.
Yeah.
Do you have
Very
a
much.
review for that?
The 694 the review is not up yet. Like I said, all the 4 Series Kenwoods, the reviews will be coming over the next couple weeks.
Tyler says, are y'all going to review the single DIN Pioneer radio with Apple CarPlay?
The 3300 we already have done. Just go ahead and search in the 2017 Pioneer NEX playlist and look for the AVH 3300 NEX. It's up there. We've already played with it.
There you go.
Show you all the cool features. Yeah, that's the kit. The 99. The Mustang kit is the 995838CH. It's got a touch panel.
With a 4.2 inch.
You have to have the 4.2 inch screen for that Mustang. If
Yeah.
you got anything other than that, there ain't anything yet.
They have the other one, the 995840
Hi, Mom.
CH
Oh, it's for the 08?
for the 8-inch screen.
Oh, there you go. They have both.
Just go to the website and yeah.
I was wrong. Shame on me. Okay, cool. It happens.
All right.
Speak up next time.
Eric said, I was walking into the 7-inch Kenwood Exelon, but there's 2 different models. What is the main difference?
Okay, 7-inch. All right, so Kenwood makes Exelon and non-Exelon. So you're going to have like a 99 and a 97. The 99 is going to be the Exelon. It's going to have a 2-year warranty, and it's going to have premium everything. First class, all the way, spare no expense. Better components, better everything. The 97 is not. That is the
1-year warranty.
1-year warranty. Usually has a single USB.
Yeah.
It typically does not have the capacitive touchscreen. It's usually just a clear resistive. But those are the things you want to look for to see what the differences are. We don't carry the 97 version because we're an Exelon dealer. They're typically almost the same price. So
So you just go for the Exelon.
if you can find the Exelon, the 99 series, definitely buy the 99 series. It's worth it. I mean, the 2-year warranty alone is worth whatever the difference in price is.
How do you say that?
Hello, Big Papa.
I have a 2011 VW. Yeah, it's the VW SUV. Was thinking of installing 2 sets of components. Should I do that or just coaxials in the back and disconnect the back tweeters? I know you don't like leaving them connected. I think you answered your own question on that one. Leave the back tweeters disconnected, go with a nice coaxial in the rear, and a nice set of components up front. Definitely want to do that. Yeah, I would do that for sure. So get some good components. Focal, Hertz, and what other strange brand they make now, Audio Frog, and just don't buy
A lot of stuff.
Go on.
Okay, Omar said, what amp should I use with my Pioneer AVH 291 BT with a 5x7 and 6x9 Fosgate speaker?
Are you planning on ever adding a subwoofer? If you are, I would look at the GMD 9605. That'll allow you to power all 4 components, or all 4 speakers, as well as have a 5th channel to add a subwoofer. If you're never going to add a subwoofer, you could do something as simple as their brick amp, which is the GMD 1004, which is a little brick. Or if you want a real amplifier, you can, well, real
8604.
Yeah, GMD 8604. I would go up to the 5 channel though, because you know, even if you're not going to have a subwoofer this weekend, you may have one next weekend. Everyone needs a subwoofer. How did Fernando start working for you? How did you start working?
I knocked the door and said, hey.
He actually worked for a competitor of ours.
Yeah.
And, okay, we wholesale to a lot of different local shops.
Yep.
And he worked for another local shop, and he would come in and buy all the products for that particular shop owner, who still owes us money. Yeah. So, he's a douche.
Don't say
It is
that.
what it is.
Sorry,
It is
my
what
bad.
it is. Yeah.
Please forgive me. Oh, anyways, so we were talking, Paul and I were talking about getting a 3rd guy because it was just getting a lot of work for me and trying to answer questions for him, work on cars. It was killing me.
Yeah.
Plus doing it 6 days a week. We felt we needed somebody else. We needed somebody. Oh, there you go, Mazda. So there is a Mazda kit. Thank you, Jason.
There you go. Thank you.
There you go. That's it right there. BK MAZK 855X. Thanks, Jason. A little slow. I'm sorry. No. Just kidding. Thank you. Anyways.
He said there wasn't even one.
I don't know. Dude, my bad. My bad.
Slack.
No, well, he's usually pretty quick. Jason's usually right there, man. He's like the 3rd guy. Even though you're the 3rd guy today, he's like the 3rd guy. He's always like.
So he's like the 4th guy.
He's
Right
like today. He's our 4th man.
There you go.
He's the guy going. Oh, that's the kit right here. Bam. So we rely on him.
Oh my god.
We do. He's a great guy, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the help you give us. Anyway, so Paul and I were discussing we needed somebody else, and we wanted somebody that spoke Spanish because there's a huge Spanish community here. He's one of them. Go figure. And so we talked to him, and we knew we knew his level of installation ability, which is what you see now is 100 times better than when we hired him. But I had 2 things. My criteria: Paul wanted somebody who spoke Spanish. I wanted somebody that just knew the pointy end of a screwdriver. That was it. I could teach him everything else.
Did you say that?
What?
He said we're out of focus.
We're out of focus?
Yeah.
It's an iPhone. It just focuses.
Yeah. Maybe it's your phone or your computer.
Either way, so we hired him 4 years ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago, and that's where it all started. So and then here we are. Yay.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Okay, Dina said, have you guys ever installed a double DIN radio in a DIN in half, like 2000, and then she put S10?
Didn't have S10. What year? 2000?
Yeah, because they didn't come out with the double DIN kit, I think, in the Dash till like 04.
Like Metra.
No, not for that one. That one, they looks
so
better out of
mean.
focus. It's so cruel. I don't think they can. No, I haven't. No. Not that one, I don't think. Yeah, because if it has. No, they haven't done that one.
No.
I have had a customer grab the newer Dash that was the double DIN Dash, and I've installed that. But I've never tried to cut that dash, mainly just because double DINs weren't as popular when that truck existed. And moving forward now, someone doesn't really want to pay us the amount of money we're going to charge them to cut and fix that dash. So your best bet would be try to find the double DIN Dash version of that and just put that in.
There you go.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, Frank said, I need help tuning my amp. I have a Pioneer AVH X 391 BHS hooked up to a Kicker 600.1 and two 12-inch Alpine Type S 500 watts. Any suggestions? That was too much.
Well, it's a 4-volt output on there. Typically, like so when we've installed amplifiers on the bench, we typically tell you, we default everything to 80 hertz, gains all the way down, bass boost at about half. With the equipment that you have, like a 391, that particular amplifier, just off the top of my head, you're probably not going to need to turn that amplifier much past, let's say, what do you think, like 8, 9 o'clock max. So between 8 and 9 o'clock is going to be where that's going to max out. Now, where that gets different is because you don't have an amp on your highs.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to be, you know, if you're just running deck power, you have to concentrate on where that's going to clip out. So 391, the deck power clips out about 28 as opposed to the preamp, which clips out at about 38. So now you're going to probably need to be somewhere between 9 and I want to say 10. So, but with the active crossover, crossing them over a little bit higher. So somewhere between, I mean, that's the thing. It's really hard for us to say, but you're going to want to be between 8 and 10 o'clock. That's really your leeway as far as maxing out that amplifier on that radio. Anything above that, if you're at 12 o'clock, no. You're overloading. You're not getting your volume up to where it needs to be. Turn the volume up to like 27, play a bass track, have the crossover set to like 120, start turning it up, and you'll know when it dies because it'll just sound terrible.
You can hear it, yeah.
Okay, nice legs, Haley.
Oh,
thanks, Mom. I'll say it for you.
Jorge. Jorge said, how hard would it be to add a aftermarket subwoofer and amp to a Ford Focus 2012 with a premium Sony sound system? It has a factory sub in the back.
What year?
2012.
2012.
Oh, that harness isn't out yet, is it? No, that one's actually not that hard. The Sony system does make it easy. All you really have to do... Now, the Amp Pro for that car isn't out yet, I don't think. Hold on. 2012?
2012. Ford Focus. Yes.
You checking?
Yes.
Okay. It is coming out. It won't be out till I think the end of the year. So the Amp Pro is the ability to take one of those Sony systems and just plug it in and get a 6-channel 4-volt preamp output. It's not listed.
No,
okay, so it's not listed for your car yet, which means that that particular model isn't going to be shipping until probably first of the year. But no big deal. If you're just trying to add a subwoofer, all you want to do is tap like an LP7 high level to low level or a audio control LC2i, my bad, LC2i, onto the output of the factory sub, and you're done. That's all you'd have to do.
Well,
real simple there.
Well, Metro actually make one.
No, they don't.
No?
No, that's a high level to low level adapter for that car.
But they have
So,
the dash kit, definitely.
Yeah, but if you're just trying to add a sub amp, I'd just tap off the rear speaker and call it a day.
This is funny.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm tired. Okay. David said, what type of stereo do you have for me or recommend? I don't have anything, and I wouldn't recommend anything.
She had, okay, in her last truck, she had a app radio, she had a 4-channel amp, some Kenwood Exelon components up front, and a Kenwood subwoofer in the back.
I was booming.
Going off to college, we got a new vehicle, so I haven't replaced anything in it. It's a
vehicle.
new SUV. I haven't replaced anything in it yet.
I'm in college. Someone might steal it.
I don't want it to get stolen.
Whatever.
Plus, Christmas is coming, so, you know,
I mean,
I won't.
means Christmas is coming. So, yeah,
You're
but
supposed to wink.
do you want to put the 207?
no, the 207 is not going in her car.
Why?
What is that?
Cause, yeah, never mind. It's
What is
it's
that
a
one?
radio.
Which
Okay.
one?
It's a touchscreen.
No,
Alpine.
which one? Oh. Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know how to say that name. Hi guys and girl, I have a CRV 2016 SE with a RP4 HD11 with APH 2300 NEX and the voice command work just with Pioneer interface and not with CarPlay. I get mute command when I use CarPlay. That's normal. He's asking, is that normal?
So if you have the RP4 harness, it probably needs to be reprogrammed. That's really the easiest way because they have, which we've talked about in install diaries, they have the default settings that most installers just plug the stuff in, all throw it in the dash and good to go. things like voice command and all those, typically like voice on a lot of those were just put as mute. So it probably is just a matter of going back in, download the instruction manual, and reprogram them so that they actually do what they're supposed to do. A lot of the times you'll see us in the video where we'll get done with the car, and then the last thing we do is we go and reprogram the steering wheel controls. It's fairly simple to do, but it sounds to me like that's the problem.
Okay, Michael, is there another adapter other than the... Is that the price?
Yeah, that's the price, and the $400 Scotia adapter. For what? Oh, for his 2017 Mustang. No, they're all going to be expensive. So all the Mustang, it's 2017. I mean, they got to build an air conditioning control in there. They got to do all that fun stuff. So $400 is what they cost. I know, right? It's a shocker, and it's ugly. So, yay.
I think it's Lewis. What harness do you recommend for 2004 Dodge Ram 1500 SLT to retain the steering wheel controls?
Okay, so if you want to just do basic steering wheel controls, meaning have the buttons do what they do, you could go with the SWIRC.
He wants a shirt.
Don't we all? If you want a better steering wheel control so that you can program them to do multi-touch, meaning answer, hang up, push to talk, things like that, then you want the SWI CP2. The CP2 is also really nice because they have a pack has a app for your phone that you can download. So you just type in the car, you type in your make and model of the car, you type in the radio you're going to use, and then it takes you off to set the dip switches, and then it gives you the full plug configuration. So it's like awesome, simple. We have a video on the CP2 if you go into the iSimple Pack Stinger playlist on YouTube. Just look for the CP2. We also have one for the SWRC. I'm sure if you watch them both, you go, I want the CP2.
All right, for Tommy, we still have the Teespring's shirt?
Yes.
There you go.
You can still go to Teespring and pay way too much for a t-shirt.
But you don't have a 5-star t-shirt.
We're going to have cheaper t-shirts. It's just not anytime.
This time.
What's that?
Because I smacked you the first time.
Oh.
He said maybe another smack will do harder this time.
We want to come out with cheaper t-shirts. I'm hoping to do it before Christmas so that all you guys that want them for Christmas can have them. It's just a time thing. I mean, she knows. It's like, what time do I go to bed at night?
Don't put me on the spot.
What time do I go to bed at night?
3 in the morning. I'm so tired. Don't get me started.
What time do I get up in the morning?
I don't know. You have 2 different alarm clocks.
What time do I get up?
One for like 5?
5:15.
And then goes to bed. And then
at 7.
Wakes up at 8. Whatever.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it's your fault.
Sorry, I don't
4 years of getting you up. 4 years of getting up every morning to get her up for school, and then now it's just hard to get out of it. But anyways, sorry, what do you got? Talk to me. What?
Watch.
Was thinking about something to put.
No.
What?
I work for Cintas.
Okay.
Get them made cheap for you. Food for thought.
What were we talking about?
The shirt.
Oh yeah. Jesus, my bad. We need it to be something mail order. That's the problem, because I don't want to sit at home and pack shirts and envelopes and ship them out, because that would be a pain. So.
Right. I'll do it for you.
You're not even home.
I know,
they never get
do
made.
it for you anyways.
The reason why she's home tonight is because her high school soccer coach asked her to come home and help them with the new team for this year, help them with tryouts. So she drove in, and then as soon as the show's over, she drives back. So.
Needless to say, I'm too nice.
Whoa, calm down. Wow. Okay.
Okay, back to the question.
Back to the question.
Steven said, second question. With my 4200, I want rear seat entertainment, but I got a base model 2011 RAV4. What rear seat would you recommend with the 4200 NEX?
Check out the Audio Vox or Vox VOX Movies to Go line. We sell that here. They make a 10-inch and a 13-inch. The 10-inch would probably do the job for you. They make great overheads. I mean, we sell a ton of them. They're very reliable. Yeah, so I would check out those. Yeah. The radio has, the 4200 has dual zone capabilities, so those have inputs and outputs. So the 4200 actually has input and output for video, so you can actually feed the overhead DVD player and audio into the radio, and you can feed the radio out into the overhead. And be able to listen to FM while you're feeding the internal DVD player back to the kiddies in the back if you want.
So cool.
Very cool. The only thing it won't do is HDMI, because there's no HDMI output out of a 4200, so that's not going to happen. Okay.
Okay, Sean says, hey guys, what pack product
Keep going. I would use
for a 05 Toyota Sienna with the overhead motor and steering wheel controls?
That's going to be the RP4.2 TY11 is going to be the pack mileage you're going to want. If you have a backup camera, you're going to need another harness. If you go to pack-audio.com and type in your year, make, and model, they will give you all those parts that you need. If it has a factory USB, they'll tell you which one to get. So go ahead and check that out. But that's the RP4.2 is the one you want. That's going to give you steering wheel controls and then integration into the car.
Okay, Michael says, I have 3.5s in dash, 6x9s in front door, and 6.5s in rear door. No factory amp or amp, running a Pioneer AVH X490 BS. What speakers would you replace all those if just running off the deck power? Example.
Yeah. Two ways, three ways,
etc.
Okay, so it sounds like you have some form of a Dodge, because you have a 3.5, 6x9, and a 6.25. I mean, there are plenty of cars that have that now, but it sounds like some kind of a Dodge. Typically what we're doing is you don't want to go too crazy, because you're not going to be running an amplifier. So you're going to want to look at there again. Something like that, I'd look at like the Pioneer TSA line of speakers. They make a 3.5. You're going to want to put a cap on those, a bass blocker, a 4.7 microfarad cap on those. And then you can run that 3.5 and the 6x9 off of that front channel, and then get some TSA 6.5s for the rear. If you want to increase the power, or if you want to go exotic, check out the Dici line from Hertz.
Yeah.
They also make a 3.5, 6x9, 6.25, and do the same thing.
I left them in my bag.
Yeah, I know. They're in the garage. I saw them this morning. So yeah, check out either Pioneer TSA or the Hertz Dici line. Either one of those would be perfect for deck power.
Hey, what time do you have?
Keep going.
Okay. Benjamin, recommendations on Rockford PBR 300 or a Pioneer 4-channel for 2016 Kia Optima, just replacing factory speakers, no sub right now.
The PBR is really not the amplifier you're going to want. You have room, so I would probably go with the GMD 9604. You'll get a lot more power out of that than a PBR, and it'll still probably fit underneath the seat.
Oh, yeah.
So I would go that way for sure. Okay, next question.
Eric said, hey guys, what happened to the old room?
The old room is actually on the other side of this wall. We're just doing this for right now until just to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're probably going to go back to that one here in a little bit. Just because, that way.
No, that way.
Yeah, that way.
Either way, we're just trying something different. Just to break it up a little bit. You know, get kind of boring. Go ahead.
But you got Fernando. Omar said, are Fosgate amps any good?
Fosgate amps are amazing. They make 3 levels of amplifiers, and there's several different branches in those. They have the prime amplifier. The prime amplifier is your cost-effective, entry-level amplifier. And then you have the actual Rockford amplifiers. You have the punch and you have the power. And they have several different amp series in those depending on what you're trying to do. If you can get into a punch or power series amplifier, you will not be disappointed at all with either one of them. Okay.
Okay, Michael said, have you ever installed one of the tablet Mustang kits for a 2015 to 17? If so, can I hook a sub up to it? Have you ever seen the Tesla kit for the Mustangs?
No, I have seen them. I have not done one.
Have you ever done a Tesla?
No. No, thank God.
How
okay.
would you do that?
It's not that.
Okay. Any Kenwood backup cams good in your point of view?
Yeah, all the Kenwood backup cameras are good. They have great resolution. They look nice. The problem is just mounting them because it's the cube, so you have to find some way to mount the cube. Alpine makes a tag cam mount for a cube. That's typically what we do is use that. If you need to know the model number for that, just ask us after the show, and Fernando can get that to you. But yeah, no, the Kenwood cameras are really nice. If you have the new 4 Series radios, you can use their CMOS 300, I believe, which gives you the DSP for different viewing controlled from the screen, so that's pretty cool. Otherwise, it's got a little push button that you use.
Joshua said, should I upgrade my alternator for my 07 Silverado Classic? I have an Alpine MRV 1507 and 0-gauge wire and Big 3. When playing music, my lights still dim.
1507. God, I haven't seen one of those in years. We used to put this like an Alpine amp. It's about that big. It's really sexy. It was their 1500 watt amplifier. Yeah, you know, the nice thing about that particular vehicle is that replacing the alternator isn't all that bad because there are plenty of people out there that make them. So for you, I'd say yes, definitely think about upgrading the alternator. If you don't have a second battery, I would recommend strongly adding the second battery because under there, again, in those particular cars, you have a place for dual battery underneath the hood. So if you don't have that, I would definitely have that, you know, if you don't want to go alternator. Okay.
Okay, Dan said, I have a AVIC
AVIC 6200. Yep.
And a GM 9605 with Infinity 6x8 Kappas by 4. And a Infinity 10 sub and not getting correct sound with have EQ set at powerful.
Okay, so if you have a 6200, you should buy the, first off, it's a 4-volt head unit, so you have to make sure the gains on the radio, on the amplifier, are turned way down, like below 9 o'clock down. And by 9 o'clock, I mean, you know, which is probably
almost nothing.
Almost nothing, okay? Because you should be able to turn the volume up to 38, and it should be able to play all the way up to 38. Secondly, if you're having a hard time with the EQ, buy the auto EQ mic and just run the auto EQ. Put it where the head goes and hit auto EQ, get out of the car, let it run, and you'll be surprised how much better it sounds. That's what the joy of having the Pioneer is that auto EQ feature. Okay.
Thomas says, saw the Alpine video after the dramatic cliffhanger. Fernando isn't wearing his favorite pants after all. After testing ILX 207, would you choose it for a DDX 9904S?
Not going to answer that question.
Why?
Because. Go ahead.
Why?
I really like the 207. I'm probably going to order one. I'm just telling you right now. It's 207.
Why couldn't you say that?
Because everyone gets all like, but no, the 207 is probably the radio for me.
Well, you keep leaving us out of a cliffhanger.
I know. I'm really psyched about the 207. I was really happy with it. I like the 207. Not totally loving the EQ, but I think between the EQ that's on it and the phone app, I'll be able to get it just where I want it. But I like the only thing that pissed me off about 207 is the page up feature.
Oh yeah, that
drove me nuts. Annoying. It doesn't do scroll; it just does page up.
Why did I even ask?
That drove me crazy. Other than that, I really love the 207. I think I'm gonna order it next month though, not this month.
Wait after Christmas.
I got my new watch coming.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So excited.
Okay, Chris, I'm running a 4-channel amp on my doors. I want to add a second component set to the front doors. Will it cause an
impedance problem when I split the front channels? So what was that now? What was? I said I'm running a 4-channel amp on my front doors. I want to add a second component set to the front doors. Will it cause an impedance problem? Okay, as long as the current set of... Okay, so it's an impedance problem, so I have a set of components up front right now. Most amplifiers will do 2 ohm, so as long as you have a 4 ohm set of components and are going to add another set of 4 ohm components, you'll be well within the operating of the radio. So, I'm sorry, of the amplifier, because the amplifier will do 2 ohm, so yeah, you'll be fine. Go ahead.
Johnny said, how many cars do you all work on average per day?
We really don't keep track of the actual cars. It's more of the items because each item is what takes time. So like if we have one car, like tomorrow, we have one car that we're going to be spending the whole day on because it's a big system. It's just how it works out. So some days, like Saturday, will we work on 5 cars? 4 or 5
cars.
5, maybe 6 cars, because they were all like one and done, like a radio and a backup camera, a radio and a set of speakers, a backup camera,
an
amplifier. So it really just depends on what we're doing. We don't really keep track of cars per se as what we're doing in each car.
It's hot.
Okay, I know. Okay. He probably shut off the air.
Maybe I'm so confused. Oh, even though you don't have systems now, what are you planning to run or what do you favor?
Like I just talked about, right now I'm really looking at that 207. So we're going to be to be continued there. It's really tough. He wants everything. So he wants Focal. He wants just crazy. Yeah, I've made a monster out of him. So it's like I got to get Focal to sponsor the show.
That would be awesome.
I know.
He's so happy.
Please.
Okay, are there any small subwoofers you recommend? I was thinking about something to put in place of the rear speakers. He has a 2002 Tacoma Extra Cab.
2002 Tacoma Extra Cab. You know, I mean, what do they have? Those little 8s, the little 8 box that goes underneath the seat for that. Actually, it doesn't sound too bad. The kicker to that is that it rattles. You have to remove the bottom of the bottom seat so that it doesn't just smack the bottom of the. They did have that one guy that cut perfect circles. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, the nicer speakers that you buy for the doors, the less work the subwoofer has to do. So if you get something like some Focals or some Hertz and you put some power to them, you're going to get some good mid bass out of them. Cost effective wise, if you look at the Kenwood Excellence, they make a 7-inch that puts out a ton of mid bass. So going to the smaller subwoofer isn't that bad of a deal because those guys put out a ton of mid bass, which compensates for the smaller woofer. So yeah, okay.
Joe said, hey, I'm looking to add steering wheel controls to my 03 Toyota Corolla with a Sony AX100 head unit. Do I need a
access steering wheel control, or will the head unit recognize the steering wheel control?
How did he spell it like that?
We typically always sell the steering wheel control. I know with the Sony, some of them you can just, Sony has a PDF you can download. If you go to their website, that'll tell you if you can just tap onto the 2 wires and plug right into the steering wheel control on the unit itself. We're always, for that, we've always just used the steering wheel interface just because it's easier for us.
Yeah.
But no, I know on Sony's website they do have a full PDF that you can download and it'll tell you if your car is compatible.
Okay, well I checked to see if I had a factory amplifier in my 2011 VW Jetta, and I don't. So I believe there is either something wrong with the output of the deck or the amplifier. How do I check if the head unit is sending signal?
What you'd want to do is disconnect the head unit from everything. You'd need a test speaker, and you'd want to just power up the head unit and connect a speaker directly to the deck powered output. Also, thing to check is make sure that you have the non-amplified harness connected, so you're not actually plugging into the RCAs, you're hooking up to the speaker wires. So if there is no deck. The other thing you can do too is if you have a tone generator or a small 9-volt battery, you can take the harness coming out of the car, the white, the green, the gray, and all that, and you can tap them to see if you're getting sound moving. So if you take a white and a white black and tap it to a 9-volt battery on the car side, that driver's door speaker should go pop, 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 pop. If it doesn't go pop, 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 that's telling you that there's a problem, or that there's an amplifier hidden someplace else in the vehicle. Sometimes they are hidden in the driver's rear, but I've always just seen them there. So that's what you want to check. Check my website, brightstar.com.
He
asked for about, Anthony asked for $1.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Check out Sean. Okay. If you're looking for a box, go to Sean, call him. That's his number right there. He'll take care of you on the box. They ship, they build what you need. They have prefabs. By prefabs, I mean they build them specifically for that car. It's not prefabbed, it's just pre-measured and built.
Yep.
I don't know what prefab means anymore. Okay, let's wrap this up.
Richard said, how power efficient are the Alpine digital amps when compared to analog amps?
If you're talking like a PDX series amplifier, like a PDX V9, PDX F, those things are incredible. They're by far one of the best amplifiers out there. It's 100 watts by 4 and 500 by 1 all day long. Kills it.
Yep.
Okay, fourth question. I saw the video of your favorite backup camera. Is there one that is just as good that is in a full frame?
No, unfortunately they don't make that one anymore in a non-full frame version. So if you're looking for something that's close, you're probably going to want to look at like one of the factory cameras from Pioneer, Alpine, or Kenwood. They're close. They're not as good as that. That score .03 lux or whatever it is pretty and crazy. Jason, take it easy. We'll see you next week. I think at that, we're just going to, sorry we missed your question. We got to get out of here. She's got to get back to school, so we're going to wrap it up. Say hi to Jolyn. Say hi to Mimi. Oh, say hi to Minnie. Hi, Minnie.
Hi.
But yeah, we're going to call it a night, guys. Thanks for all your questions. We're sorry we missed it. Thank you, Haley, for coming in this week. Yeah. You guys have a great night as always. We'll see you later next time.
Bye.
Bye.